What's up, guys? It's the Reality Grizzly back with some more reality realness. We're about to get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 16, Episode 16. But before I do, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into it. The episode opens with Shamia and her daughters having a doctor's visit with Gerald on FaceTime. Apparently, Shiloh has been congested, and they just want to make sure she's not experiencing any issues, especially since Shamia came back from Grenada with strep throat. They inform us that they're moving forward without their current surrogate, but will continue their journey to having their next bundle in the near future. In the next opening scene, Phaedra updates us that Dylan, her youngest son, aka Mr. President, has created a pants line, and to no surprise, he's already made some sales. Aiden said he's going to be his manager and he wants his 10%, honey. Phaedra sits the boys down and says she will be having a black glove event and her business partner would like Dylan to show his collection in the fashion show. So good luck, Mr. President. Kelli prepares for her court date concerning her divorce, says she's just ready to restart her life for her and for her girls. No cameras were allowed in the courthouse, but when Kelli came out, she did let us know it was a complete shit show. She makes it home and Shamia pays her a visit to catch up on how the court verdict went. Kelli informs us that she didn't get divorced and Mark, her children's father, ended up going to jail. Angela calls while they're talking just to check on Kelli, which was really sweet and thoughtful of her. As shady as she can be, she showed compassion, and I can appreciate that. Shamia asks Kelli, has she talked to Brit, and she says she hasn't heard from her since Grenada, and it's very disappointing because she was there for her multiple times in this season when she was at her lowest, especially when it came to defending her against Kenya. Honey, Kelli said Brit didn't send her a text, a call, flowers, a candle, nothing. So next, Kelli prepares for her cook-off against Charles, and she invites Phaedra, Drew, and Angela to be a judge. Says they're competing with Banana Foster Waffles as the theme. Charles seems very confident and says if you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. Yes, Unc. While the ladies are at the waffle competition, Brit finally invites some of the girlies to her home. Portia and Cynthia to be specific. As she's walking to the door, you can see furniture and laundry piled up to the ceiling like, girl, you know they were filming at your house. You didn't want to pick up and touch up a little bit? She did say the house was under renovation, but girl, you could have made it look a little bit more presentable. It just wasn't a good look aesthetically, but anyways, I digress. Brit, Portia, and Cynthia have drinks and catch up on how things have been since Grenada. Brit informs the ladies that her and Kelli have been having a situation, updating them that Kelli didn't want Brit using her glam squad after she apparently was the mastermind behind it all. Says she was disappointed when she got the call that Kelli didn't want them working with her. But Kelli feels as if she's using all of her resources and it's giving that she's really not that girl. Portia's like, look, there can be no jealousy. And Brit was like, well, how about Shamia is now working with the stylist and having shopping sessions? Now, in Kelli's defense, it is her stylist, her money, her choice, honey. Then Brit is like, also Shamia shared a text message between her and Portia about the divorce attorney. Portia's like, that was my therapist, but it was crossing the line. She's like, I'll deal with it, looking a little bit caught off guard by the tea. So you can kind of understand where this is going to lead Portia and Shamia's friendship. The cook-off continues and the waffles are presented to the ladies. Drew said Charles' waffles were so good that it took her back to when her grandmother used to make them when she was younger. Phaedra was moaning, so apparently Charles' waffles won. And then all of a sudden, a random man comes up to Angela and asks her if he can pull her to the side and have an intimate conversation about her husband. Mind you, Charles is standing right behind the bar, and Angela's looking like, what? Who are you? It really was kind of creepy. He's like, there's some things that you may want to know about your husband. She just kind of says yes, she'll talk, but she never actually gets up to go talk to him. Then everyone in the event shares a toast, and the same random guy is like, I want to make a toast. I want to cheers to you if your name is Angela and your husband is cheating on you. Like, dude, what? Get your weird ass on. Now he was being super disrespectful. Kelli was like, nah, bro, we're not doing that. And he asked Kenny, the bodyguard, to escort him out. She said she's lucky Charles didn't hear him because he would have had a frying pan across his head. Lord Jesus. Angela said Charles does not play when it comes to disrespect, so we know how that would have went. As Cynthia, Brit, and Portia are having a blast, turning up at Brit's, Portia gets a call from Phaedra with some tea from the waffle event and basically catches them up on what had just happened with Angela. The day has come and it's time for Phaedra's black glove shopping affair, and as she's getting prepared, she gets a sad call from Portia that her cousin Londi has passed away. This is incredibly sad because we've seen her on the show for a while now, and even on Portia's spinoff show, Portia's Family Matters. So rest in peace to Londi. Phaedra continues her event and comes marching in with her coochie crack out child in my Kenya voice. The ladies arrive one by one. They catch up with each other. Then they start talking about the rumors, how Charles was allegedly cheating on his wife. And then last but not least, Brit walks in and Kelli is super cold towards her, not speaking at all, saying she can't be fake. She's upset that she didn't check on her after her court appearance. Brit is like, well, I have some stories to tell. She feels like Kelli took it too far and it didn't have to go that far. Angela informs us that she has people who did their research to find out who the creepy guy was and said someone paid him to be there to spread those lies. Then says he was handled accordingly, whatever that means. Now, who would have paid for this to happen? And they said it was a man behind all of this. Maybe we'll find out next week on the finale. Meanwhile, Drew is late and locked outside of the event. Kelli throws subtle shade towards Brit. Brit says, you can address me. You don't have to be passive aggressive. Kelli's like, I'm not passive aggressive. I'm just aggressive. Baby Kelli said, I am the mighty wolf, honey. So they get to going back and forth, and Kelli says, you better talk to your pill-popping roommate, alluding to Brit's husband. Brit says, if you don't respect me, I'm going to air the whole clip out. Still making gun references, I see, but I digress. Brit says, your stylist says you're a mess. You look a mess, and I bet you don't want to talk about the abortions while you were married. And that sent Kelli into a frenzy. She starts calling Brit all kinds of hoes and everything but a child of God, honey, as they're forcing her into the next room with her little self. The ladies hold Brit accountable, letting her know, sis, you are going low yet again. And Brit is like, I'm sorry, I just can't be fake. While Phaedra is calming Kelli down, the event is getting ready to start without Drew. She's outside eating chicken wings, honey, with the officer, I guess. The looks are coming down the runway. Drew finally gets in, along with Sweet Tea from Married to Medicine, and Dylan presents his highly anticipated pants line, and the crowd goes crazy for him and his brother. Mark my words, those boys are going to do big things. Shout out to Phaedra for teaching them to be each other's brother's keeper. She should be a proud mommy, and we need more personable stories and scenes like this from Faye Faye next season. The ladies are trying on the fur coats and jackets, and Shamia pulls Brit to the side to address Brit. Brit says she just can't support someone who is fake. Phaedra gathers all the ladies and opens up to them about the death in Portia's family. Shamia takes it hard, as you can imagine, and the ladies are in complete shock. They console Shamia as a unit, and the show closes out. Now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to read a few comments from my shorts that I've posted about tonight's episode. If you guys haven't checked out my shorts, I'm the shorts king. So don't forget to like and subscribe and comment so you can remain a part of the Reality Grizzly community. We like to windmill each other in the comments, so come on over and join us. So some of the windmilling in the comments on my shorts, someone's saying, I'm no Brit fan at all, but baby, she was in her element. Someone else said the whole show is just giving love and hip hop, all ratchet. Someone else said, Brit is always doing the most. I'm glad she's gone. Then we have someone else. When she called her a hobbit, I fell smooth out. We have another user that says, Cynthia said, what kind of pills? Meaning, who got the hookup? Someone said they're on Brit's side. Someone said Kelli lost in this one because the truth always wins. We have another commenter that says, where was this Brit all season long? She really did read Kelli here, though. I'll give her that. Baby, the people are saying Brit had Kelli shook, honey. Kenya more hair care. Kenya more hair care. Portia used to think there was 265 days in a year, by the way. She's an icon. Brit says everyone is so passive-aggressive. Apparently that's her word this season. Kelli asked for all of it. Someone says Brit makeup looks good. Brit really did look pretty. She always does, but she really did look pretty at Phaedra's event. Someone said not the husband being the roommate. Dang, real friends falling out over sharing a glam squad for a few days? Someone else said, what's the tea? The girls are fighting. Someone else said, dang, it's crazy when you start to like Brit more than Kelli. People are saying the Baltimore is coming out of Kelli. People are saying, okay, Brit. I'm seeing a lot of people really big up Brit in the comments. Someone said, not Kelli running. Someone said, Brit ate so bad. I'm sorry. I've been liking her as of recent. When she's a mean girl, she started ganging up on her. Not sure what they meant by that. Someone said, what in the world is Kelli wearing? Someone else said, Brit did so well. Someone said, is the season over yet? Brit's getting a lot of she was beautiful. Not the pill popping roommate. She forgot to mention face down ass up roommate. Ooh, shade, honey. People are asking who's the pill popping roommate. The pill popping roommate Kelli was referring to is Brit's husband, guys. So yeah, it's so many comments. I'm not gonna go over all of them. I just wanted to switch it up and do something a little bit different. But after Britt reveals to Portia that Shamia was allegedly sharing their text messages, do you guys think this will cause a permanent rift in their friendship? Will Angela believe the tea that was brought to her by the fan because he's back next episode? And will Kelli get her revenge against Britt for revealing secrets shared while they were friends? Chime in, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.